Here we have a framed etching on paper, signed, pencil signed in lower right by Grant Wood. And we know what the title of it was. Grant Wood became famous for paintings and prints. And this is a winter scene, and the horse is being led out to be hooked to a sleigh. There's a two-story barn because up above would have been hay dumped down for the nice horse seats in very good condition. For Grant Wood, they have 1,292 sales of prints.
Wow.
So it isn't oils, they have those too. So we click on that, and let's see if they have. Well, what I was going to look and see was whether or not this particular print had been sold at auction.
I'm sure.
What you have on the back, this Associated American Artists
That's where they purchased.
was, well, yes, but they also had a kind of print of the month, like Book of the Month Club, and every couple of months they would send you a print, unframed. It would be in a tube, and then you'd take it and get it framed. So for many American artists, this was the first time that they could really get some national exposure. So it's always good to have the original tag. Now you could also go right there in New York in person and buy, but this was a sort of one of the 2 or 3 companies that was the print of the month. And the idea is that you were in Possum Trot, but even though you were in Possum Trot, as long as you had the mail come, you could get prints by emerging artists. So at this time, Grant Wood is an emerging artist. Now, if I were able to find this particular print, and we know the title, the fact that it may have sold at auction for $1,500 or $2,000, that isn't what a retail art gallery in New York or Chicago or whatever would have it at. They may buy it at auction for that, but they have put a markup on it.
Sure.
So as an appraiser, if you've watched the Antiques Roadshow and we're on that, what you have here is an original watercolor on paper. And it's a winter scene, and the winter scenes generally are very popular. And the name is German. I note that around the perimeter of this mat, it's beginning to get a little dark, and that is the usual aging of the mat. And the back of it has cardboard, and that's bad because cardboard has a lot of acid in it.
Okay.
And it eventually will discolor, particularly if it's touching. Since I don't know the artist, and my database has 700,000 artists, and I don't claim to know all of them, you notice that the trees are not clearly defined. Some of the watercolor out here has a branch out in space that's not connected. So it was done in kind of an impressionistic way.
This, we have original oil on board. So we know that this basically is a one-off. This is original, right? This is original just means there's only one of them.
Right.
The first thing that I'm going to look at with this, because here's the first thing that we're going to look at. Which of the 6 John Hammonds is this?
Canadian painter, born 1840 something,
Okay.
died in 1932. I know this because he's my great uncle.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I did is I looked up. So these will give me thumbnails when I scroll across them.
And is he down the list?
This. Oh yeah.
Good.
John A.
There he is.
Okay. And so what we look for, you see this? You see that?
Well, this is my understanding that he painted this as a copy of the painting that he made for the Royal Canadian Arts.
So this is really the situation with this is perfect, because when you see the thumbnail that pops up for this,
It's this.
it's this.
Yes.
Okay. Then I go to signatures, and when I look at this, He always had the same J, and he always has the date underneath.
Right. Yeah. There it
That's
is.
the same J. Okay. So what we have is the right guy. So my takeaway from this would be value is relative.
Of course.
Worth is
It's
relative.
what the market will pay.
Well, and what may be valuable to me might
Right.
not mean the
Somebody
same
else.
thing to you or someone else. I would say these sales results are older than I would want to use, right? Okay, so here's a 2021, slightly larger, also 1887. It sold for $6,400. So what that says, if I look at this, is the trend on his collectible value is going down.
Going down.
Fair market value, I would very comfortably say that you're in the $8,000 to $15,000 range. Could be more, right? It's the right auction on the right day with the right people.
Right. Understood. Okay. All right. Thank you.